studio and I'm trying something new, at least for the summer. We'll see if this continues, but I'm going to be talking about all the news, the TV show, the movie, the book news that is out, whether that's casting announcements, previews, rumors, etc. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. I just haven't known how best to structure it, but I do think I've been missing covering some of the little announcements when it comes to books, movies, etc. And I want to kind of go into those without taking away from my bigger reviews. And I think by doing a weekly news thing where you get to see me, which I know I don't really do these videos often unless it's like a cover reveal for a Diary from a Big Kid book or something. But I figured this was like a good time or like a good opportunity for me to do the camera again and all of that. So yeah, each week I'm going to be talking about the major announcements and, in whatever world that is. Today we're going to be talking about a trailer out for a Netflix show that I watch, and then we have the Disney upfront, Netflix upfronts, some Prime Video stuff, and then some rumors about a franchise, I guess you can call it at the end. I don't even know what to call it. You'll wait and see what I'm talking about. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm calling it Wimpy News, I think. If you have a better idea, let me know down below. I just think that name's kind of like been laid out for me with everything, but we'll see. So starting out, we have the Sweet Magnolia Season 5 trailer dropped. It's coming out June 11th, and I kind of talked about it a little bit in my summer preview video that I posted on Wednesday. So if you want to listen to my thoughts in more detail, check that out. But it looks like it's going to be a better season than the last two, but I still kind of have my doubts. I didn't like seasons 3 or 4. So I'm hopeful that they can kind of turn things around. I think they've laid down the groundwork that they could hopefully improve on some things by introducing the New York plot line. I think that could bring some fresh energy to the show. I think it's getting a bit stale in Serenity. Of course, we have Helen's wedding, so I hope that's going to, bring some fun, hopeful energy as opposed to just the depressing stuff that I feel like we've been getting the past few seasons. Not a lot of optimistic moments, and I'm hoping for more of those as we get bridal stuff, all of that. And of course, we don't have Ty this season, which is upsetting. It doesn't look like we have Ty. Not saying he's not in it, it just doesn't look that way. So we'll have to see what that means for Annie and Ty, but it does not look good for them. But I'm hopeful for season 5, but I'm also not getting my hopes way up. I know the two things kind of contradict each other. I'm always hopeful that a show is going to be good, but I'm also not getting my expectations too high because it's just not that type of show. It's supposed to be a feel-good show, and they've just kind of like made it messy and cringy, but we'll see. I don't see this going much past to season 5. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this one was the final, considering all 3 girls are going to be married. I mean, the only other thing is, I guess if Helen wanted to have a kid, they could save that for season 6, but I mean, she might not want, I mean, I think she does want kids, but I don't know if that's essential to her storyline. I know getting married was kind of her big thing, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll see about that. So that's Magnolias for you. Going into the Disney upfronts, which were this past Tuesday, these upfronts are more like investor meetings for the streaming services to show off like what they're doing, what their big stuff is. So with Disney, they announced a lot of stuff, but I mean, there's some Percy Jackson stuff. I don't watch Percy Jackson, so I'm not really going to be covering that on here. But the two biggest things were not even super big things, but the first one was Vision Quest, which is the show focusing on Wanda's husband, Vision. And that's going to be on October 14th, so around a Halloween drop, which I think makes sense because both WandaVision and Agatha All Along had that Halloween-y vibe, that spooky vibe, and I have not watched Agatha All Along. We watched the first episode. We didn't really care for it, but I hear a lot of people loved it, and there was a lot of success behind it. So I do want to go back and watch that before I watch Vision Quest, just because they are part of that Wanda trilogy, but I really enjoyed WandaVision. It's still my favorite Marvel Disney Plus show that has been out. I really like it. So I have hope that that WandaVision, or not WandaVision, sorry, that Vision Quest will turn out to be good. It's definitely something to look forward to. It's our first, like, kind of, we had Wonder Man. We haven't been getting a whole lot of these original series, especially ones that have actually been good lately. Wonder Man was an exception. I really enjoyed Wonder Man. So I'm hopeful that Vision Quest will be just as good. And I think it has a lot of potential to be because of the success of both of the previous shows in the trilogy. The other announcement was Ahsoka Season 2 is unfortunately being delayed to early 2027. I'm not surprised by this, but it's also kind of disappointing. We've been waiting 2.5 years. The finale came out in October 2023, so it's going to be about a little over a 3-year wait, assuming we get it in either January or February of next year. But I have a feeling that they'll carve out that slot in early next year for that big Ahsoka drop, which I'm really looking forward to. I really enjoyed Ahsoka season one. I thought it was solid for what it was. I hope this is not another Stranger Things situation where they take 3.5 years to make 8 episodes and it just comes out pretty bad. But well, I don't think it's going to be like that. I think they put a lot of effort into it, a lot of time into it. I mean, this is going to be our last live action Star Wars show in a while because they're transitioning more into movies. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But I'm hopeful for Ahsoka season two. So I'm okay waiting the extra time and hopeful that we will get a good product out of it. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. So moving on to the Netflix upfronts, there weren't really a lot of big announcements about stuff I'm really passionate about. Again, there's just two things. The first one was they disclosed an Outer Banks season 5 teaser that has not been released to the public yet. We have to wait for that. My guess is I'm going to think we're going to get to see it by the end of May because I'm still thinking they're going to try to drop season 5 in July. That just makes the most sense. It's really the big summer month, the full month of summer. Kids don't go back to school. Most kids don't go back to school until August. I really think a time in July is the best time to release that final season. But apparently the teaser included stuff with the Pogues attending a hearing in Croatia, which is interesting considering they were last seen in Morocco heading to Portugal to track down Chandler. But then they returned to Kildare Island, and I guess this is just like the first 5 minutes that they showed, it looks like, but they return to Kildare Island. They're not really welcome there. Cleo's sent back to the Bahamas. Pope's sent to jail because he took his ankle monitor off. So everyone's kind of separated. It looks like really early on in season 5, but I assume they'll all come back together because, again, this is a show about the Pogues. But I wish they had just disclosed that trailer or that teaser, but I think they'll announce it in the next 2 weeks. I'm pretty confident about that. And once they do, I'll definitely cover it on this news thing. But I think season 5, like Sweet Magnolias, I think season 5 of Outer Banks is actually shaping up to be pretty good. I didn't care for seasons 3 or 4 all that much, so very similar to Sweet Magnolias, but I think this show, JJ, I enjoy as a character, but I don't think he didn't make the show for me. Like I think a lot of people think that way. For me, I really still think John B and Sarah and the Camerons in general, even though Ward's gone, but that Sarah and Rafe dynamic, John B and Sarah's relationship, and of course the Pogues, the 4 Pogues, and then adding people in. I really think that's what makes the show. I don't think JJ as a character makes the show. I still don't think they should have killed him off. I think killing off a Pogue was a mistake. So I still think that, but I don't think it's as big of a tragedy to the show as other people think. So I'm still gonna watch it. I'm still gonna give it my full attention, and I think they'll land it. I think they're gonna do a good story about justice for him, and I think it's gonna provide some really good stuff for the Pogue, some deep emotional stuff that we haven't really seen. When we've seen individual characters struggle with things, but we haven't seen a collective group really deal with a loss like that. So I think they're going to handle it really well. I think it's going to be a really good final season. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the promotion for that, and then of course watching the final product. So they also announced a season 4 for My Life with the Walter Boys. So they have officially exceeded the Summer I Turned Pretty in terms of how many seasons they got. And this show, I didn't really care for season 2 all that much, but I think there's a lot of potential behind it. I'm hopeful that season 3 will be better. It's supposed to come out later this year, is what I've heard, and then season 4 sometime in 2027. So we'll have to see what happens there, but I'm hopeful that they'll deliver. We'll have to, of course, wait and see how that turns out to be. But we know we're getting two more seasons, so that's like something good, I guess, to think going into this next season is that we know we're getting another season. So whatever cliffhanger they inevitably give us, because they've given us the last two seasons, it's all going to be okay because we're getting a season four. But those are just kind of the Netflix announcements. So going into some Prime Video stuff, they've released the first still for the Summer I Turned Pretty movie, and it's with Belly and Conrad, and they're in front of the fireplace. It's a selfie taken by Lola and Chris. So obviously everyone was, oh my gosh, they were so hyped over this one picture. People are saying he's going to propose in front of the fireplace. I mean, really, Belly and Conrad, they have so many places where he could propose because their relationship is just so the way they write it, it's so grounded in like just deepness and in love. And kind of going all the way back through, you can really see that foreshadowing. I mean, there's the fireplace, there's obviously the beach where they share their first kiss. So many moments where they could pick. I think the fireplace is a possibility. We'll have to wait and see, though. I have no doubt it's going to be in a location in Cousins, but it could be in Paris too. We don't know how much time we're going to see in Paris, but I have a feeling because we got that reunion in Paris that they'll go back to Cousins for the proposal. That's kind of my guess, but I'm pretty confident it's going to come out in summer 2027. I think that makes the most sense. It's a summer show after all, so I don't see them releasing it any other time other than the summer. So that's kind of my thoughts there. So some other stuff in Prime Video world, they released a trailer for a new show that is coming out June 10th. It is called Every Year After, based on the book Every Summer After, which was written by Carly Fortune. And I don't know much about this, but I did watch the trailer before recording this, and it looks good. It kind of looks like another The Summer I Turned Pretty situation in a sense, but it doesn't really look like a love triangle between her and the two brothers, at least not yet. It looks like there's one that she has a past with, and now he has a new girlfriend. And then he has a brother too that I guess will be instrumental in the storyline. Looks like he might have his own romance, but it's taking place during the summer. She's close with this other family, so I am getting some Summer I Turned Pretty vibes going on here. But I don't want another story. We already have My Life with the Walter Boys, where she's caught between two brothers. We don't need another show like that. This show looks good. It looks fun. Again, I don't recognize a lot of the cast in this except for Matt Cornett, who was EJ in High School Musical, the series. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in this and seeing him as like part of the main couple, especially because he was never that in that show. He was always a side love interest, whether it was for Nene or for Gina. So I'm looking forward to his role in this. I'm looking forward to this show. I'm going to try to read the book, of course, before I watch. And it doesn't come out till June 10th, so I'll definitely have plenty of time to watch that, or to not watch that, to read that before watching the series. And if I like it, I'll definitely review it. So have to wait and see how that goes. And then the other show is called Off Campus. This is a hockey show. It is based on a set of books by L. Kennedy. And I watched the trailer and it looks different than Every Year After, but I think it looks good too. So I don't have any complaints about either of these shows coming out. It looks like it's just like two people fake dating to impress someone, but they're going to fall in love. And there's hockey too. So they're really capitalizing on the Heat of Rivalry success. And I mean, they should, because Heat of Rivalry has done super well. There are still so many people that talk about it. We covered it in my gender studies class. So yeah, a lot of hype behind it. And I definitely think that will continue until season 2 comes out, which is in April of next year. So why not release another hockey show that will probably do wonders? I mean, so far this show's been really successful. I haven't really seen any negative reviews about it. I've only seen positive. So it's already out. So there's 8 episodes, and I'm gonna. Is it 8 or is it 10? Sorry, I thought I saw 8. Yeah, it's 8 episodes. So that's kind of the norm nowadays, either 6 or 8. They don't really do a whole, usually no more than 10 at least, but the norm I'm seeing is like 6 to 8 episodes tends to be what happens. But I'm going to watch this, and I'm hopefully going to review it. And if I do like it, I will review it probably starting next week. So stay tuned for my reviews on that. But I'm going to sometime this weekend watch the first episode to see how I feel about it. So those are our Prime Video announcements. The last thing I want to talk about is they this isn't confirmed, it's a rumor, which is why I'm saving it till the end. Sorry, but they announced, not even announced, but they suggested that Justin Baldoni might want to turn It Ends With Us sequels, It Starts With Us, into a movie. I don't know how that's gonna work. I highly doubt that he's going to do that. I just don't see how he would be able to pull that off. I mean, considering all the bad publicity that him and Blake Lively have, I mean, I don't see how he would be able to. I mean, he could replace her. He would obviously replace her. There's no way those two are working together on a production again. That would be a total mistake, and I don't think either party wants that to happen. Ryan Reynolds would not let that happen, that is for sure. Neither would Justin Baldoni's wife after everything that happened with that mess. So I just don't see how he would be able to pull a sequel off with getting a whole new cast. But he could if he wanted to. He does own the rights, and he could pull it off without Colleen Hoover involved, without the Lively's involved. That he could pull it off, but I mean, he would be an uphill battle because he would have to replace the entire cast because most of the cast sided with Blake Lively during that whole battle. So he would have to get a whole new cast and redo it, and I just don't know if he would be able to pull that off. I mean, again, it was just such a bad publicity. So I think he has a good future ahead of him as a director. I mean, obviously things settled between them, so neither of them, I guess, is like being going to jail for anything. Their accusations are just kind of like thrown out the window now, which I still would have wanted a better resolution to that. I mean, if you're going to settle it, just don't wait a year and a half to come to a settlement. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just very much a waste of time. I think one party should have gotten justice. I'm not getting into whose side I support. That's a whole other story, but I don't think he should make It Starts With Us into a movie. I just don't see how that's going to go well. But it's his choice. So if he can figure out a way to make it work, that he has my support. I'll still watch it because I do think it's still a good story at the end of the day, even if I don't love Colleen Hoover as an author. I think it's one of her better stories that she has put together, the story of the cycle of domestic violence and ending that. So that's kind of all I have for you for my first episode of Wimpy News. But let me know down below if there's anything I missed that you think I would like. I'm always open for more recommendations for things to read or watch. And let me know down below what you kind of think of what I talked about. Do you like this new format? Whatever. So yeah, I will see you guys next week for the second episode of this. So thanks everyone for watching, and bye everyone.